Hello and welcome back to the channel. Well, it is January and I'm continuing my series of my favorite films of the 1970s, and thanks so much for the great comments and questions and things on each of these videos. This will be a series, like I mentioned, and it'll probably go on for quite a while. I do have a playlist and I will link that in the description below so that if you missed a video and you want to go back to look at some of the other ones, you can. This selection I have happens to be the first movie I watched in 2023. And so I thought I would talk about it today. It's one of my absolute favorite movies from the 70s. And it was mentioned in a couple of the comments too. So thanks for those comments. I definitely knew about this film and love the movie. And it is The Taking of Pelham 123. And there it is right there. There's the front cover. This is the Kino Lorber release. This is a Blu-ray. And the film is from 1974. And I'll just open it up here too so you can see the additional artwork on there. This is again from Kino Lorber Studio Classics. I love this. This is also streaming, I believe, and so you may be able to find it streaming, but I love the physical media. And there is also a 4K of this out there, which I haven't picked up, but this is one that I will probably upgrade at some point to 4K. I just love it so much. It's one of my favorite movies from the 70s. And as always, I'm just going to read the back so you can get kind of a description of the movie. This is from the description on the back. So if you're looking at this movie, I don't think I'll be spoiling anything here. And I'm really trying not to spoil these movies if you haven't seen them, because some of these are lesser well-known. This one I think is a little bit more well-known from the 70s. But here we go. Screen legends Walter Matthau, The Laughing Policeman, which is another movie I hope to feature on the channel as well. And Robert Shaw figures in a landscape, but also from Jaws. This is before Jaws. Team up with Martin Balsam, who is amazing, and Hector Elizondo to deliver a surefire entertainment that's gripping and exciting from beginning to end and is guaranteed to give you the ride of your life. A gang of armed professionals hijack a New York subway train somewhere outside the Pelham station, threatening to kill one hostage per minute unless the demands are met. Forced to stall these unknown assailants until a ransom is delivered or a rescue is made, Transit Chief, Lieutenant Garber, which is played by Walter Matthau, must shrewdly outmaneuver one of the craftiest and cruelest villains. I totally agree with that, Robert Shaw, in a battle of wits that will either end heroically or tragically, featuring masterful direction by Joseph Sargent, who did White Lightning, gorgeous widescreen cinematography by Owen Roizman, The French Connection, which is another movie that I love, and I probably will be talking about that at some point on the channel as well. A classic rousing score by David Shire, The Conversation, and a top-notch editing by Jerry Greenberg, who did Apocalypse Now, and Robert Q. Lovett from Cotton Comes to Harlem. So this movie is amazing. It's one of my favorites. This Kino Lorber release comes with some extra features on it. Also, an interview with Hector Elizondo, an interview with composer David Shire, interview with editor Jerry Greenberg, an audio commentary by actor-filmmaker Pat Healy and film programmer historian Jim Healy, trailers from hell with Josh Olson, animated montage of stills and posters, and the original theatrical trailer. So lots of extras in this release, and you can still find this on the Kino Lorber site, I believe. So I will also link that in the description below if you're interested in Kino Lorber, who I was really impressed because I think they just recently, within the last few months, redesigned their website, and it looks amazing. I love to maintain a wish list on that site as well so that I can pick up, if there's a sale or something like that, I can pick up some new titles. What do I like about this movie? So many things I like about it. I was talking about the movies of the 70s before and saying how patient they are. This one happens to be more of a thrill ride from beginning to end. And right off the bat, I love the music. I love the music by composer David Shire. I just think the theme is one of my favorites. I listen to it also without the movie. I think you can find it on Spotify. And so I just love the theme. I think it's one of the best that I've heard in movies and one of my favorites. And they use it, it seems to me, when I was watching it this time anyway, mostly in the beginning. There's little hints of it, I think, throughout the movie, and then, of course, in the end. But I love the music. I love all the performances. I think Walter Matthau is amazing. Jerry Stiller has an appearance in this movie also. So if you're familiar with Seinfeld or King of Queens or shows like that, it's great to see him in a dramatic role. And I'm sure he had many of those as well. And, of course, Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw is amazing in this, and I probably saw this movie perhaps after Jaws. Once I knew Robert Shaw, Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, I was seeking out any films that the actors that were in Jaws were in, and this is one of them. And Hector Elizondo is great as the character. I mean, he's amazing in the movie. I feel like because it's more of a thrill ride, to me the armed kidnappers are very cruel, it seems like. I mean, from the very beginning, there's really no concessions from Robert Shaw and his whole crew. They really want what they want, and they ask that of the transit police, and so from that standpoint, it's very thrilling. I mean, down to the minute, almost delivering, going through this whole process of the ransom and meeting the demands and things like that. I also want to say too, Martin Balsam, who is in a movie called After the Fox, but many other movies too, After the Fox with Peter Sellers, of course. He's amazing in this movie, and he plays a rather unique character. And I'm not going to give away the ending, but he is. It's a very interesting ending featuring him in a way. So I don't think that really gives anything away, but I feel like there's some interesting clues throughout the movie that lead to a very creative ending and a very satisfying ending as well. Outside of the music in these performances, I really like the pace of the movie. And as I said, I was talking about lots of 70s films that I enjoy are very patient, very quiet. And this one is definitely more of a roller coaster ride throughout the whole thing. And you're really sort of on the edge of your seat for the whole thing, which is totally fine. It's just a different kind of a movie. Still some great shots. I love that we can see New York in the 70s. See the streets and the subway, and it seems like a lot of it was shot in the city, which is just amazing to see too. Sometimes perhaps filmmakers today might not choose to film in a big city like New York City, or they might do a lot of the scenes in another location. But it's great to see the grittiness of New York City. It's great to see the authenticity of the city itself. And I just love that, and I love that as part of the gritty nature of the 70s movies in general, at least the ones that I enjoy. So highly recommend this one. It's definitely I haven't done a top 10 for 70s movies, but I would assume this one is probably in the top 10 or top 20 movies for me, because I just really enjoy the performances. The creative way the story unfolds, also great storytelling, great action. Lots of amazing shots of the city and amazing performances, as well as a great score. So highly recommend this one. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen this one, if you're interested in this one. And I'm going to be, again, continuing this series. I also have in the description below a link to my Letterboxd, which you can certainly follow me on Letterboxd if you like. I love that site. And I am listing all the films that I'm seeing. I'm also listing other films that I'm watching on a daily basis. And so if you want to follow along there, feel free to do that. Thanks so much for watching this video today. Happy 2023. I sincerely hope that everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.